Do some ants do nothing all day? There's a detail about ants that sounds made up. Spend a day watching a colony, really watching, and you'll notice a few ants that never do any work. No hauling food, no digging tunnels, no feeding the young. They just sit there while everything around them moves. Then you count them. And it isn't a few, it's a whole crowd of ants. Scientists wanted to know a hard number of ants that do nothing. So they did something painstaking. They caught every ant in a colony and painted a tiny colored dot on each one. Then they watched. For many weeks they watched. Hundreds of hours tracking who worked and who didn't. The number came back almost embarrassing. About 4 in 10 ants did basically nothing. Nearly half the colony. And it got even stranger than that. This wasn't ants taking turns to rest. The lazy ones were the same ants every single day, the same painted dots, in the same idle corners, doing nothing for their entire lives while the rest of the colony worked itself to death around them. We've always thought of ants as doing the opposite, hard working. The real colony makes a joke of that. So what's wrong with them? Are they injured? No, they're intact. Are they old? No. Plenty of them are young. Are they resting between shifts? No. A resting ant gets back up and starts working again. These never do. Every answer we can think of fell apart. And then researchers noticed something that made it even worse. The ants that do nothing, they weren't weak or starving. A lot of them were the fattest ants in the nest. Bloated, glossy, so swollen it looked like they ate for the whole colony. While the thin ones ran past them dragging loads twice their size. There's gotta be some sort of obvious reason. Maybe they're doing some sort of secret job, nursing the young, standing guard, something we can't see. The researchers checked. There was no secret shift, no invisible task. The idle ants were exactly what they look like. Ants that do nothing. To understand how strange this is, you have to know what a colony is. It's one of the most ruthless, efficient systems on Earth. Ants farm their own food, air condition their own nest, run assembly lines. Nothing gets wasted. As a matter of fact, a colony will leave its own wounded behind if saving them costs them too much resources. And in this same machine, in this exact same system, they are spending a fortune on food to keep 4 out of 10 ants fed and doing nothing. No worker pushes them up. They don't rebuke them. They don't act strange around them. As a matter of fact, they go out of their way to make sure they're fed. They serve them. And it's not a fluke of one nest. You see this in all the ant nests. Mark the ants in a second colony, a third, a fourth, a different species entirely. You see the exact same behavior. A colony doesn't waste food keeping useless ants alive for no reason. So either every ant colony on Earth is making the same mistake, or these ants aren't useless at all. What researchers did was, they went to a colony and removed its hardest workers, the busiest 20%, the ants doing the most labor. Ripped the engine out of the machine. By every rule of how colonies work, the place should have stumbled. Fewer hands, the same mountain of jobs, and it didn't stumble though. Within a week, the colony was running like nothing had happened because the lazy ants got up and started working, hauling, digging, feeding the brood until the colony's output climbed back to where it started as if the missing workers had never left. So ants are very prudent. They have a reserve. A colony with every ant already working would have nothing left to fill in the gap. They were never lazy. They were waiting. It's because a colony can lose its workers in an instant. A bird can attack them. A rainstorm can happen. A raid from the colony next door can happen. And half the labor force is gone in an afternoon. So the colony keeps them well fed and in great condition. Some would argue that the most important ants in the colony are the ones that do nothing at all. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. And as you know, I'm trying to grow this channel and most of my viewers are not subscribed. Thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a comment on what you think the most interesting part is of this whole video. And if you even expected that. And will this hold you back from stepping on the next ant? If you subscribe to this channel, the next time you see a line of ants heading towards your home, you're going to think, should I step on this or should I leave it alone?